Apple Gift Card is a practical gift that unlocks a world of entertainment and fun. You can send it via email or give a physical card to your loved ones. Your friends and family can spend it on their favorite Apple services, including Apple subscriptions. Apple Gift Card can be used to buy all things Apple: products, accessories, apps, games, movies, TV shows, iCloud Plus, and more. Visit apple.com for details and to send Apple Gift Cards to your friends and family this holiday season.
Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show, and I think today, it's either today or tomorrow, will make it officially 1 year since I created my podcast. But no, so I was going through my Facebook memories, and I seen that I was talking about it, but I'm trying to think, like, did I upload the episode, like, late, and I uploaded it, like, for the next day, but it was, like, in the middle of the night, because I'm trying to sit down and think. I might have did that, but I created the podcast today, so I think today would make it officially 1 year since I've created my podcast. It's crazy. This whole time I've been lying to people. I've been telling people that I created my podcast in September, but in reality I was like, I created it in July. I don't know why it felt like it was in September though. Maybe because might have been like a cold day or something. I don't know. It was like sunny but cold, but it's like, that's usually how it is in September. But no, I was just, man, I'm like, because I still remember, like, it doesn't seem like it was that long ago. Honestly, it seems like it was, like, later than September. It seems like it could have been, like, in maybe, like, November or December or something. Honestly, it doesn't feel like that I've had my podcast for that long. But when you sit down and think about it, 30-something seasons, like hundreds of episodes. I mean, I've been really killing it with my podcast. My podcast has to say, to me, it has to probably be my third best invention. Because, of course, like, first would be my main channel, second would be my gaming channel, and then third would be my podcast. I had to say those three are, like, the main things that I'm, like, really focused on. I don't really focus on anything else rather than those three things. Like, I can go, like, days, weeks, months, like years without posting on anything else, but I will make sure every single day I have to post on my main channel, my gaming channel, and my podcast. I was about to say, well, yeah, because I do have a podcast channel too. I think that's what I might focus on today, is posting the episodes on there, because I literally have no episodes. I mean, I do, but on my main channel, but I need to, like, post it for my for the podcast channel and stuff, because I feel like then I would drive in more viewers and stuff doing it that way, also posting it on YouTube. I wish YouTube would just post it automatically. But, no, they're all like, we're already, freaking Anchor, they're already posting it everywhere. Well, they might be able to. I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think, because I remember doing, like, extensive, like, checking and searching around when I did create my podcast. And usually I see where most people post the podcast themselves, or they'll have, like, an editor or somebody post it for them and things. But anyways, and that's another crazy thing, how it's like, I'm doing my podcast. Well, I'm pretty much doing everything by myself. But I'm like, yeah, it's like, you hear most people, they'll have like an audio guy or a microphone guy or the editor or this or that. Me, I'm like, I do all this on my own. I do the YouTube, I do the podcast. That's crazy. It's seriously crazy to think that. But at the same time, I'm like, I know I'm capable of doing it. So it's like, it's not surprising. But I think for most people, it would be crazy to them, because it's, you don't hear it like too many times. It's like a person got 20 YouTube channels, maintaining them all, managing them all. They don't got no extra help or anything. So I don't know. I like doing things on my own. It ain't that I'm like, just like, I don't know. It's not that I want the help, but I like doing things on my own. I mean, if somebody offers to help, then I'm like, oh, okay, cool. But I'm just like, for the most part, I'm like, I'm a loner. I do things on my own. But anyways, no, back on the podcast. So I think I talked about it on my on the early episodes and things. But I guess to give you guys a 1 year update of having a podcast. So yeah, 37 seasons, hundreds of episodes. Created series within the podcast, and so that I thought that was a pretty cool thing to do. That was something that like came on like later on and stuff. But I think, yeah, because I didn't really know what to talk about on my podcast. Like, I was like brand new to this and things, and so when it was, so starting from the beginning and stuff. So there's a friend of mine that I went to school with, and shout out to Angela, because Angela, she's like the head honcho, the person that gave me the idea of creating a podcast. So yeah, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't have had a podcast. I remember thinking about it, but I never did go through with it, and I had just forgotten the whole idea of creating a podcast. And so yeah, it's good to have friends like that where they like give you ideas. So I'm like, that's one thing that I'm not going to take credit for, is saying that, oh, I did this, like I came up with the idea all on my own. I came up with the name. I came up with the episode ideas. You know, I post daily, but she was the one that like gave me the idea of creating a podcast. So yeah, she has to take full credit for that. So but anyways, so there was one night where we were talking, because I was like, yeah, at that point in time, I think that's when I was like really getting into creating a bunch of different like YouTube channels. And at the time being, I don't think I did, yeah, because I didn't create like my 20th YouTube channel until quarantine. And so at that time being, I think I did have a lot of YouTube channels, but not enough, like, or not the goal which I set was 20 and stuff. So anyways, I think yeah, we were just sitting down just talking about a bunch of random things, and then that's when she was like, oh yeah, you should create a podcast. And so the conversation didn't go like that. We have them like not word for word and stuff, but I was like, she did say something along the lines of me creating a podcast. And then yeah, I think because she was saying like how good I am at talking. It's funny because me and her, so she was like one of like the first people I became a fan of on YouTube. I remember she did dancing videos. I feel like I shouldn't be putting her business on blast, but it's too late now. So those videos are long gone though. Those videos. I honestly don't even remember her YouTube channel name. I told her numerous times. I was like, you should create like a podcast or a YouTube channel. I felt like, because no, you sit down, you think about it. You gave somebody else the idea of creating a podcast, and here they are. They're killing it. They're doing an episode daily, finding different things to talk about every single day. You gave somebody that idea. Imagine what you can do with the idea yourself. So that's why I'm like, yeah, when you give out ideas, like do the stuff yourself, because I'm telling you, you might just be the next big person when it comes to that. I'm saying she's definitely one of those, because I'm saying if you just gave me the idea and I'm like doing so, I wouldn't say that I'm like the best podcast in the world, but I say that the work and dedication and stuff that I have like behind it, yeah, I'm like, I have that, and it's like you gave me the that idea and things, yeah, you definitely would kill it. So I'm trying to think, what would her like? I feel like, yeah, it could be something like Mine's, but I don't know. She'll have to come up with like a nickname or something. One of these days I'm gonna just sit down. I'm like, nah, you are going to create a podcast. I gotta hear it, because I know you would kill it and stuff. So, but anyways, I feel like I should have her as a guest. One of these days I gotta have her as a guest. I'm gonna see if she's open to that. I'm like, hey, you want to be a guest on the TMossBoss show? Just real quick. Just give me your thoughts on some things. Like, I don't know. How do you feel about? Because they've been the Pentagon just recently released out saying that they seen aliens and stuff, and I'm like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think we're gonna be dealing with some Men in Black stuff here soon, or maybe Signs? Hopefully, ain't Signs. I'm like, nah. I seen that movie, and I know for a fact that we had to deal with something like that right now, yeah, that kid in me would definitely come out, and I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna hide in the woods, and I'm never going to return. I'm not going to return until I've gained like 200 pounds of muscle, and I know I can like kill any alien with my bare hands. But anyways, besides that, all right, now I ain't got that all out the way. Back on the podcast and how it all came about and things. So she was telling me about it, and then she gave me the idea, and so at that point I was like, I did get motivated to create the podcast. And then that's when I was just like going through Google and everywhere. I'm like, okay, like, who should I go through to start a podcast? Like, how do you create a podcast? Like, who should I go through? What should I do? Topics and things to talk about. I was looking up everything that I possibly could. And I felt like that once when I created it, that I'm like, okay, the topics and the, like, talking about stuff, that's going to be the easy part. It's just like coming up with everything right now. So, so eventually I did come up with the name, the TMossBoss Show. And then I think I went through Anchor to come out with the art of it, like, or the cover art and stuff. So, like that, like, rainbow swirl thing. I'm telling you, I should have that, like, on a t-shirt. I'm like, yeah, when things like, ooh, I wonder if I could go on a website and then copy it and then paste it on like a black hoodie. Oh, I definitely would do that. I'm gonna definitely do that. And people, they ask me like, what's the TMossBoss Show? I'm like, that is my podcast, my friend. So definitely give it a listen to. I'm gonna seriously be like one of those guys selling their mixtapes in downtown Seattle or something. But I don't know. I'm an antisocial, so I'm like, you just see the hoodie, just look up whatever you see and stuff. But anyways, so yeah, came up with the name, and then was like think. Then I think at that point I was like coming up, I was trying to come up with ideas and stuff to talk about. So that's when I think I had did the introduction episode and was like just pretty much like introducing myself. And I remember I was trying to do it off of my phone, because Anchor, they have it where you can record the podcast off of your phone, but you can only record as like a certain point. So I think it's like 15 or 30 minutes or something like that. And it was so upsetting because I was recording, right? And I didn't even realize, because I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, this is easy. I can just sit down and just talk about whatever and stuff, and then just go on for like a whole hour and stuff. So I go and I'm like recording, I'm talking and all of that, just having a ball. I look down, this thing has stopped recording. So at that point in time, I was just being crazy for no reason. I'm sitting here talking to myself, and that made me so upset, because I'm like, why did this thing just stop recording? That's why I'm like, bro, there's sometimes with technology and just certain things, I'm like, why would you add something like that? Why would there not be like a flash or like a vibration or something that'll let you know, like, hey, this thing stopped recording, so you can just stop with the talking and stuff. And I'm like, no, this thing ain't said nothing, they ain't did nothing, so it was just a waste of episode. So I think I had to do the introduction episode all over again. And I think that's when I was like, I came out with the first episode yesterday. So yeah, or not yesterday, but tomorrow. And so that's when I was like, yeah, I think tomorrow is the like anniversary of me uploading my first episode, but today will be the anniversary of me creating the podcast. And so yeah, I was like, man, but I was mad about that. I hate when things do that, because I was like, I had a laptop, and I'm like, I'm so happy that I got rid of that laptop. But no, I had a laptop where it would do that. I'll be recording a video, and then this thing would just stop recording. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, why? For what reason? Why did you stop recording? I'm like, you are a... How much did that? I think that laptop was like $1,200. I'm like, you are a $1,200 laptop. You mean to tell me that you can't record a video? I had to record videos up to 15 minutes. After that 15 minutes was over with, I was just like, oh, I gotta end the video, guys. So sorry, but I'm like, that was the dumbest thing ever. I'm like, bro, like, don't get any Dell Inspiron laptops. Dell Inspiron, I will never ever get a Dell laptop ever. I got an Asus laptop. The Asus laptop, it's all right, but it was like it kind of be acting weird sometimes. I'm like, bro, can things just act normal? Can stuff just record? Like, you would think like, okay, with all the content creators and YouTubers and stuff, you would come out with some technology where it's like, okay, it's going to prevent all of these mistakes and all these other different things from happening. So, everything's going to be working out perfectly fine and things. No, it's like, these guys, they don't care. They're all like, we just going to come out with some crappy stuff, charge $1,400 for it. And yeah, then they'll never know until they buy it and things. But it's dumb, man. It's very, very dumb. But then after creating the podcast and then the introduction episode, then what was the other few episodes I did? That's what I thought about doing, was like going through all the episodes and then talking about them, like trying to come out with a backstory or something behind them. But I'm like, a lot of the episodes was like a series, like a little mini series I created within it and stuff. So anyways, it's just crazy to think like 37 seasons. And like right now I'm on my 7th episode of the 37 season. Felt like I said 36, but anyways, going all the way back down. So second episode, yeah, and it was funny because I had bought a notebook and I started writing down ideas, but then it just got to the point where I was just like, oh, I already gonna remember the idea and stuff. So I'm like, if I forget, now I'll just type it up in my phone and then try to remember that way. But no, I had wrote down a bunch of stuff to talk about, but that's not who I am. Like, for those that need to know, like, how do I do my episodes, I'd seriously, just like with this episode, I'd turn on Odyssey or the recording software, and I just start talking. Like, I don't write down nothing. I don't have no script. I don't have none of that. I'm like, who needs a script for a podcast? Like, honestly, I'm like, I'm not going to go based off of a script on what I'm, like, going to say. I'm like, that's not me. That's not what I do. I'm like, there's just like, I was going to treat it just like how I did videos. I'm like, however I do videos, which is pretty much you just start the video, start talking. I feel like when you have that mind to where you don't have to write down jokes, you don't have to write down ideas, you don't have to. And I mean, like, and I'm not saying like that's bad in things, but that's just something that I don't do. That's something that I don't know. It's like, it's not that I can't get with it, but it's just something where I'm all like, I know I'm going to remember it, so I'm like, why do I gotta write it down and things? I'm like, that's why I'm like, I think I'll be really good at like improv comedy or something, because I'm like, I will think of everything I need to talk about right then and there and stuff. And it's not like before I think, yeah, I remember I did an exercise like that when I was in school. It was like an improv comedy thing, and I was killing it. I had my classroom laughing, so I'm like, I would definitely be dope at like improvised comedy or anything improvised, so. But anyways, yeah, so it was the introduction episode. Then the second episode was old rappers versus new rappers. Because I know a lot of people, that was like a debate where people would like, or new rappers would come out and say, oh, I'm better than Tupac. And I'm like, no, you are not. You literally rap about being in the club 24/7. I'm like, Tupac was actually telling stories. Let's see you do like a Brenda's Got a Baby record and stuff. Then you come talk to me and things. But anyways, and then I did one talking about scary movies. Oh, then I did like an episode where I had shouted out my friend Angela, the one that gave me the idea for the podcast. And so, once again, no, major shout out to her. Yeah, if it wasn't for her, this podcast wouldn't have been created. So, I feel like I definitely have to like make sure it's like everybody knows like the creator of the TMossBoss show I feel like I would have to like give her like half of the credit and things for that, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have never thought about doing a podcast. So I feel like I should give her half of the credit of creating this podcast. But I mean, I did come up with the names and all of that. But no, it's like, I'm gonna still give her half the credit. I feel like, yeah, it's deserved. She deserves it. So anyways, yeah, but I'm all like, but no, it's just like having fun and stuff, just talking about a bunch of random things, and it's like to honestly say like, and then I remember I was like going to work and I was just so happy to just tell like my coworkers and stuff and my manager how I created a podcast and how those guys was like so into it and things. And then I remember, I think that's why I was like, I remember I got originally I got the idea of creating a podcast because it was my one of my friends at work. He was talking about how he was hanging out with like two of his friends when they were going on this trip, and how they wanted to create a podcast. And so he was talking about that, and I got the idea. I was like, that is a good idea, creating a podcast. But I'm like, I don't listen to podcasts, and I still don't really listen to podcasts unless it's like probably a friend of mine's or something. But yeah, for some reason, I'm like, I don't know. I just haven't really found a podcast to listen to. I listened to my first podcast, like full episode, I think when it was Joe Budden and Nicki Minaj was having that problem, like what, last year or something. So that was like the one and only time I sat down. And then I remember I joined these podcast groups on Facebook. But I don't know. I don't go through them because I'm like I'm just like, I just don't go through them. I'm like, I don't know why. But yeah, I was like, I tried promoting them, but it just seemed like nothing was happening and things. So I was just like, all right, forget it. I'm just not gonna go through them anymore. But anyway, speaking of podcasts, it's funny because Joe Rogan, of course, his like one of the biggest podcasts in the world. But Joe Rogan, he's facing a lot of backlash right now. Like, I remember Angela, she was telling me about how I wonder if she still listens to Joe Rogan. I gotta ask her. I'm like, you still listen to Joe Rogan, or do you just like cancel him out and things? Because I know a lot of people, they don't like him right now based off of some of the things that he said and stuff. But anyways, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool having a podcast. I really do enjoy it. I highly recommend that you guys create a podcast. For those that want to know how to create one, so download. You can use a video too. So you can use like in a video form or in any other form too. I don't know. But no. Wait a second. I think you can use, because Anchor, they recently had it where you can have like recorded videos and stuff of your podcast, and so you could post a video of it on the YouTube channel, but then post the audio on Anchor. So yeah, for some reason, Anchor, they don't allow it where you can't post videos and stuff. So I was like, well, that's dumb. But you can, but it only takes out the audio. So I was like, well, that's just pointless and things. I'm like, I might as well just use like a recording software like Odyssey or something. So yeah, get you a good microphone. then download Odyssey. Odyssey is free, but a good microphone, you might have to spend like maybe $100 on it, because I know the microphone that I had to spend $100 on it. But you can, because for the longest I was using a Blue Snowball microphone, so you can very well use a Blue Snowball microphone. That microphone is good too. That's honestly one of like my favorite microphones ever. If they come out with like a modern version of it and things like, and it's like the sound quality is like really good, but the sound quality is already good. But I guess if it's like better, then I probably will go out and get me a Blue Snowball microphone. But yeah, then get you a microphone, write down some things, or you could just do what I do and just improvise and just talk about a bunch of random things. I'll tell some stories. I know I've done that before. I've told some stories and things. You can literally do anything with the podcast. You can have like friends over it and you guys just have like random discussions about stuff. So yeah, podcast, it's a very easy thing. Once you get used to it and stuff, it's a very easy thing to maintain. So anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for on this 1 year journey of the TMossBoss show. I really do appreciate everybody that's been supportive, that has helped me out. Once again, shout out to Angela for giving me the idea of creating a podcast. Shout out to everybody that's followed, subscribed, liked, did everything that you possibly could do to support my podcast. I really do appreciate it. What else? Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you're viewing this on YouTube, like and subscribe. And viewing this on the podcast streaming service, make sure you follow or subscribe, however it's set up. And if you are purchasing tickets from SeatGeek, make sure you use my promo code TMossBoss. It will knock $20 off your first purchase. And that being said, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening, and peace.